Ever wonder why we dress up on Halloween? Why we carve pumpkins, light candles, and whisper about ghosts in the dark? What if I told you these traditions began as rituals, sacred acts meant to protect the living from the dead? Tonight, we're going back to when Halloween wasn't a party, but a passage. I'm Mark Daniel, and in this episode, we're unearthing the forgotten rituals that shaped the holiday we know and love. From Celtic bonfires to Roman feasts, from medieval prayers to modern candy runs, this is the untold story of Halloween's ancient heart. 2,000 years ago, in the Celtic lands of Ireland and Scotland, the year ended not with celebration, but with fear. The Celts called it Samhain, summer's end. It marked the death of the old year and the thinning of the veil between worlds. Imagine standing here on the last night of October. The crops are harvested. The animals are brought in. But the people, they stay awake. They believe tonight the dead return. To protect themselves, they wore disguises, hoping spirits would mistake them for one of their own. The first Halloween costumes were not for fun, but for survival. And when you pull on your costume today, you're echoing a 2,000-year-old act of fear and faith. On Samhain night, the Celts believed the gods walked among mortals. Offerings of food and drink were left at thresholds, not for trick-or-treaters, but for wandering souls. The fires weren't just light, they were beacons, symbols of renewal. Each family relit their home flame from the sacred bonfire, carrying divine protection into the long, dark winter. But as empires rose and faiths changed, the fire of Samhain didn't die. It evolved. When the Roman Empire conquered Celtic lands, their festivals of the dead collided with Samhain. Feralia, a day honoring the departed, met Pomona's Day, a harvest celebration of the goddess of fruit. It's from Pomona that we inherit one of Halloween's strangest games, bobbing for apples. But beneath the laughter, there was a whisper. What we eat, what we offer, is a prayer to the gods of the dead. For a brief time, the world's greatest empire celebrated both harvest and haunting in the same breath. The church saw opportunity and danger. Pagan rituals had deep roots. So, instead of destroying them, they baptized them. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III moved All Saints' Day to November 1st, right after Samhain. It wasn't coincidence. It was strategy. The night before All Saints' Day became All Hallows' Eve. Over centuries, Hallows' Eve would become Halloween. The church turned fire into candlelight, spirits into saints. But the old fears, they never really vanished. By the Middle Ages, the ritual of souling spread across Britain. The living went door to door, offering prayers for the dead in exchange for small cakes, soul cakes. These were the ancestors of trick-or-treaters. But their purpose was sacred. Each cake eaten meant a soul released from suffering. Later, in Scotland and Ireland, guisers wore costumes and performed songs or tricks for gifts. When those people crossed the Atlantic in the 1800s, they carried these ghostly customs to America, and Halloween was reborn. Not all ancient customs made the journey unscathed. Some became secrets, whispered in shadow. On Halloween night, girls would peel apples to divine their true love's name. Others gazed into mirrors by candlelight, hoping to glimpse a future husband, or worse, a specter. These games were descendants of pagan divination, the same rituals once used to speak with the dead. The church called them heresy. Society called them superstition. But the people called them tradition. Even now, we can feel that thrill, that thin line between belief and fear. By the early 20th century, Halloween had transformed. Civic groups and candy companies worked to tame the chaos. The night of fire and spirits became a night of laughter and sweets. But beneath the costumes and candy corn, echoes remain. Every lit pumpkin is a fire relit from the sacred flame of Samhain. Every costume, a disguise against the dark. Maybe Halloween was never about fear of death, but a reminder of life's fragile spark. Our ancestors faced the long night with ritual, story, and flame. And perhaps every time we celebrate, we keep that flame alive. So this Halloween, when you light your candle, remember, you're not just celebrating the spooky. You're honoring the oldest ritual of all, keeping the darkness at bay.